Ladies and gentlemen, we have some pretty exciting news this evening about a new challenge that is going to be arriving in the contest on July 12th, and this one apparently is set to be the hardest and probably most annoying challenge that we've ever had in Marvel Contest of Champions. So if you're kind of familiar with the challenges in the past, we've had Coulson's, we've had 2 runs of Chloe's, we've had Dave Bautista's, and also Ming-Na's Cavalry Challenge with, I think like Ming-Na's and Bautista's, I remember being the biggest pain in the ass, and apparently this is set to be a little bit worse than that, but to kind of compensate for it being a little bit harder, they have upped the rewards. So now for the initial completion, you get a fully formed tier 4 basic instead of half of one, so that's pretty decent there, and you also get a total of 400 more 5-star shards. So yeah, some pretty nice improvements there. I mean, I would love to see a 5-star Awakening gem bundled in, but maybe one day, ladies and gentlemen, maybe one day. And also, one of the exceptionally good changes to this is that the portal setup is going to work like it initially did in the Dave Bautista's one before they fixed it. So if you're on the very first day, the way that it's going to work is you enter and you've got that initial lane, and then you can port to any other section that you want to clear it. So you don't need to do like this massive endurance challenge, and you can just do it like section by section if you want. So yeah, a bit of an interesting change. I'm actually very happy that they kind of consciously made this. I didn't really see like much of a reason for them to like disable this in the first one, so I'm glad that they've kind of you know, actively made this something that they're going to allow in this challenge, so that's pretty damn cool there. And also, the most important thing obviously is who we're going to be fighting. So it's going to be very fun. So you got the classic version of Spider-Man, you've got Evade Central there, you also have Spider-Man Symbiote, you've got Spider-Gwen, you've got Spider-Man Miles Morales, and also Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. So in terms of like, you know, which champions you're going to need like evade counters and magic, but it's really, well, it's a little bit tricky at the moment exactly to say like who are going to be the best champions for this challenge, because we don't know all of the buffs and nodes yet. So I could say like, for example, like Black Widow is going to be a great evade fighter or crossbones, but we might see something that like really punishes, like for example Power Flood, champions that have buffs, and somebody might like Electro or Iceman might be a little bit better. So in terms of like champion recommendations, I'm not going to say anything until it's actually out and I can see who are some of the best characters. I think that's probably the best course of action there. But also the bosses for this event. So the bosses, you don't really fight them much because they're at the end, but you have Rhino, you have Venom, you have Electro and Vulture. I assume Rhino, Venom, and Electro are going to be the kind of like, what is it, the beginner, normal, and heroic bosses, and I imagine they're saving Vulture for the master mode. And Vulture is very easy to fight, like he really doesn't have anything going on for him, but they might add a pretty insane node, so you know, it's very difficult to say. But Vulture, you know, without any specific nodes, you just can outbait his SP1 and SP2 quite easily, as you might be able to see by some of the kill videos that we have on the channel. So in terms of like buffs that we're going to see, so they say there will be a number of buffs on the opponents as you progress, but one of note is the life transfer in Act 5 Chapter 1. So basically this is actually one of my favorite nodes. Initially when everybody read it, they were like, oh, this kind of sounds like BS, but it's so much fun, and it's probably one of the nodes that works really in favor of the player. So basically you degen 2% health every second, but you regenerate for 125% of the damage you deal. So very powerful stuff there. Like, that has just insane potential, and in a lot of my experience, you know, works as much more of a benefit to the player than the AI. You know, it's very easy with certain special attacks on hard-hitting champions to instantly go from like 5% to 100% health. So that's going to be good fighting evade characters, because, you know, you can potentially like get that special off and just heal up if you do take a few hits and get chipped down. So yeah, bit of an interesting one there. Very excited to see how that plans out. This looks like a very fun challenge so far, he said a little bit pessimistically. I mean, evade champions are always a bit of a pain, but we'll see what's up. And then the Act and Chapter awards. So for the chapter completion, so you kind of like have to pretty much do everything if you want, you know, these rewards. So you got the completion, you have the 4-star hero crystal shards, you get 300 of those, 100 5-star hero crystal shards, and then tier 4 class catalyst fragment crystals, so the equivalent of like 20% of a fully formed tier 4 class catalyst. And then for the mastery, you get 400 5-star hero crystal shards, 1 tier 4 basic catalyst, and 1 tier 4 class catalyst. Then for the act completion, you get a 4-star hero crystal shards, 600 of those, 250 5-star shards. You get the equivalent of 40% of a class catalyst via 20 fragment crystals. Enough, basic catalyst fragments to fully form 1 tier 4 basic, a tier 1 alpha catalyst, and also for the mastery, you get 20 5-star signature stones. I love this reward, so happy it was introduced to Batista's. 750 5-star crystal shards, 4-star awakening gem crystal, and the rare Web-Slinger title. So yeah, some pretty cool stuff, and it also does confirm that there are also going to be chests along the way that grant 3 and 4-star hero crystal shards. So yeah, let's and they also, some drop more than others, but it's up to chance, so I'm interested to see how those ones work. Ones in Guardians of the Galaxy, they weren't too bad, like I know a few people did farm them, so bit of an interesting one there. And then finally there is going to be the Legends title, where they're going to be using the time attack Legends approach, so your time starts when you begin the challenge and it ends when you 100% complete all of the quests. So if you're looking to compete for Legends on this, you know, you want to wait like a couple of weeks until kind of all the guides and videos have come out, just so you know how to absolutely make this challenge your bitch. And yeah, you have till the end of the event to get in your Legends time. So it starts again this Wednesday on the 12th of July and lasts until August 9th. So you pretty much have 4 weeks to do it. Overall, I'm very excited for this challenge. I'm going to be doing it live on Wednesday evening. So, you know, if you want to swing by the live stream and watch me get absolutely wrecked by a ton of evade champions, you know, you're going to have to get to see that. That's going to be fun, I can imagine. Apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts on the Web-Slinger challenge? Are you looking forward to it? Are you a little bit hesitant? I kind of like the direction that they're going with this one initially. I like the ability to port to any line of fights that you want, and I also like the idea of the life transfer buff. But, you know, I don't want to get a little bit too much into potential strategy until I've seen the nodes and exactly what we're dealing with, because they do mention there's going to be other stuff as well. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.